Hi, my honeys. I have the subject of what we are subject to on my mind as a subject for today. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much for coming back and being here with me. I really appreciate your presence, your time and your attention, as well as your support. And if you are new here, you're most welcome. I am just Melissa, and this is Empower Empire, where I'm all about sharing with you around tools for your personal empowerment. So today's subject, being subject. Presently, here in South Africa, we are being subjected to an extreme heat wave. Temperatures are 34, 35 degrees Celsius, which for my international friends is between 98 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, with sweltering. That's why I have my hair tied up for this episode. It's just too hot any other way. But it's gotten me thinking about the things in life that we are subjected to. We all know that external authorities exist within this world that we have created, pyramidal structures and hierarchies, and those to whom we give authority. So when things are handed down from an authoritative position, for example, of a global lockdown, we are all subjected to that. And because it comes from authority, we are required to obey, or to then subject ourselves to the consequences for having broken that law. In times of war or natural disaster, everyone in the area affected is subjected to the conditions created by that occurrence. But aside from those glaring and major exceptions of the catastrophic and huge kind, more than that, what else are we subject to? And should we be subject to that? What do you subject yourselves to, my honeys? Are you subject to other people, to their whims and their moods? Are you subject to your thoughts in any given moment, or to your feelings? Do they control you? Should we allow ourselves to be subject to these things? Very often, people will discuss the times that we're living in, or the state of the current economy. They will discuss the weather, in the sense that they are subject to these things. But have you truly ever asked yourself whether we are in fact subject to things like that? Is my abundance and the level of that abundance, for example, truly subject to the state of the economy? Or am I free to create however much abundance I want for myself, regardless of what the economy is doing? Am I truly subject to the weather? Yes, it may be raining, but I have the option, do I not, to go out anyway, put on a raincoat and grab an umbrella, and not allow myself to be subject to the weather. Or in my case with this heat wave, I have the option of putting on yet another fan, wetting my hair and splashing my face, things like that. Because, my honeys, to live our lives subjected to things that are external to us is the definition of disempowerment. And to live our lives subjected to even our own internal processes and patterns is also to live disempowered. The truth is, my honeys, that we are sovereign. We are not subject to anything that we do not give our power to, external to ourselves. We have been given authority, agency, and will over our own lives. So if, for example, I choose to subject myself to some form of an external authority, it's because I recognize that I have given them the power to be an authority over me. So I am still the one who has made the sovereign choice to empower that external authority. From a psychological point of view, everything is always discussed in terms of subject and object relations. Even if both the subject and the object in relation are people, they are still discussed in terms of subject and object. And my honey, so often we go through life being subjective, as opposed to having the necessary distance to be truly objective about a circumstance, a situation, a relationship, an event, or a thing. To be subjective is to decide for ourselves what our personal truth is. So when we are allowing ourselves to be subject to something external to ourselves, then we have not come into that full authority over that for ourselves. The truth is, my honeys, that we are at cause of absolutely everything in our personal lives because we are at choice. We always have choice, even when we feel like something is externally imposed upon us. We still get to make the choice to go along with that external imposition. But to not empower the thing external to ourselves by giving it a life force of its own, and to have that external locus of control, as opposed to the internal one, where we recognize we are choice and at cause, and we recognize that we have the power and control. That's the difference. And it's so key. So in terms of our personal lives and how to empower ourselves more, I can offer the following few little examples. Do you create your day? Or do you wait to see how it's going to go when you wake up in the morning? Do you lie in bed and decide to see what kind of mood you're in, instead of choosing the mood that you will be in for the day? It literally is as simple as that. When it comes to your thoughts, do you think that you have to think them? Or do you recognize that you control your mind? And when an undesired thought comes in, you can go, hang on a minute, no, that's not what I choose to think, and actively change that thought. When you have an emotion, do you feel subjected to that emotion? Or do you tune into it and go, do I want to feel this way? And then make a choice to shift it into the emotion that you wish to hold? In terms of your general state of being, do you exercise your will to choose where you will vibrate at? And not in some kind of negative or denial or suppressive manner, but to recognize if you're not in an optimal state, making the choice to vibrate higher until you are in one that you do prefer. This is our power, my honeys, and there's no limit to how much we can exercise it. So with that, I invite you to not subject yourself to anything, whether external or internal, without taking your power back and choosing over it. Because you can, my honey. Much love. Until the next one.